Hi guys, and welcome to another installment of the Vending Machine Tycoon development series. Now, you know what? I went out and spent quite a bit of money on a new microphone, but it turns out that the 2012 MacBooks need amplified input for their line-in, so the microphone is completely useless. Thankfully, turns out you can plug in a phone headset into the headphone jack and the microphone on the phone headset would work. So I'm hoping that there's less interference this time around, that you can hear my voice clearly. Alright, so moving on. I'm going to pick up right where we left off, and then in the second part of this video I'm going to go in a bit into detail about the art side of things. Okay, so let's see. I was talking about buttons and something to do with the filtering on the textures. Well, I think I've rabbled on enough about that. So the thing with buttons is you can just do really simple stuff like set the position, the scale, the font. Now you'll notice, let me see right here. You'll notice the font is kind of weird, it's blurry, and probably need to disable the filtering on there too, but I'm not quite sure how to do that, so I'll probably get to that a bit later. And this video is also catching up on code that I've already written, but the next video I'll definitely be actually coding things from scratch and designing things from scratch in the video itself. Okay, so you can set the title, you can add a touch event to it. It's all very basic stuff. Just make sure when you add a touch event that you're checking for an instance throughout the touch process, because it'll send an event. It'll send an event on touch down, on touch up, and on touch cancelled. I think those are the three. There might be a few others, but you just want to pick one of these. In fact, I can probably just have a look here. Oh yeah, touch moved as well. So you wanna ignore 3 out of 4. Just go for one. So I think touch ended is usually a good one. I'm not sure why I'm using began here, because that means that it'll trigger the event right when I put the mouse down. So as you'll see here, oh, goes straight in the game. Actually, I think ended will be better, because what Cocos 2D has is it allows you to automatically adds an animation to the buttons. So you'll see now. Oh, goes bigger first. So I think that's good for a touch screen, especially. The user gets some responsive feedback. Okay, so yep, and settings button does nothing at the moment. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the structure here. So you'll see I have quite a bit of files, and I literally started this game like a few days ago, and you might be wondering why I have so many files. The reason is I'm not actually coding that much inside the files. I'm just using them as a way to design the app. So I'm just creating these empty files that have no code inside them at the moment. But you can see right here, this is the entity folder, and an entity is basically a thing. That's really the easiest way to describe it. It's just a thing in the game that you can maybe see or interact with in some way. So an entity is nothing at the moment. And then we have an employee, and an employee is, oh, we have a person. And a person is an, oh wow, bit of a typo there. I should say person. So a person is an entity, right? So the reason, this is all called, this is all polymorphism and inheritance and all that object-oriented stuff. So basically, we have objects here, so an entity is an object, and that extends from a class, and a person extends from an entity. So the entity might have some code that handles drawing and stuff like that. And so if a person extends from that, we don't need to copy that code over, so it saves us coding time. And then a person might have some specific code to handle the animation of a person walking and maybe path finding and that kind of stuff. And then an employee is a person. So an employee might have things specific to employees, such as, I don't know, their so I've got here, I've listed some stuff down, their salary, their efficiency, their experience, and then, so this is a very long chain. So it's and then we have a janitor, which is an employee. So janitors will clean stuff out, and I'll go a bit into detail about what each of the roles are. So this is a very long chain. A janitor is an employee who is a person who is an entity. So it's probably, it might be a bit overkill, but I reckon it's better to kind of go overkill with this stuff rather than go underkill and regret it later. And basically, the main reason I do this personally is because I just don't want my code files to get really, really long, because I've worked on projects where the files might end up being 2,000 or 3,000 lines long, and you just spend so much time scrolling between them. It's much easier to just switch to another file. And in terms of performance, you might be worried that because JavaScript is an interpreted language, that having so many files might end up slowing things down, but luckily Cocos actually just chucks everything into a single file and also minifies it, so you don't have to worry about that. You can split everything up into multiple files, and it'll just get put into one file at the end of the day, so it doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so we also have a customer who is a person, and customers will be buying things from the vending machines. So under employee, I put down a few things. I put security guard, janitor, repairman. So the idea with security guards is that, let's see, how do I go into this? Different areas in the game where you can put your vending machines might have different crime levels. And the security guards keep the crime away, and they also help you catch criminals, perhaps. I haven't really put that much thought into it. Janitors keep the area around your vending machine clean. So certain venues might actually be more prone to getting dirty than others. And a dirty area might detract customers from buying from your vending machine. So you need to hire janitors to keep that area clean. And for instance, maybe there would be something like a concert venue, and there's always a lot of bottles and things on the floor. So you know, you might need more janitors or a more efficient janitor for that. And let's see. And repairman. So repairman will repair the machine after it breaks by itself, or someone perhaps, you know, breaks the glass or does something to it, you know, in the form of a crime. And employees have different efficiency levels, different salaries, and maybe something to do with experience. I haven't really thought too much about that, but that's something to keep in mind. Okay, let's see. Repairman, security guard. Oh, and finally, a vending machine is an entity. So it's just this is an entity right here, vending machine. Okay, so this is all in the entity folder. So these are all entities. These are all things that you're going to see in this screen, the security camera screen, where this is probably not a good representation. Give me a moment. Let's just go into the home scene and copy paste this. I'm lazy, so you're going to see a lot of copy pasting. We're just going to make a background. And this size here, when size, this is the size of the entire screen. dividing the width by 2, so putting it directly in the middle, and the height by 2 as well. And let's see, I'm loading this. There's locations, and this is something that I drew earlier. So this is the alleyway. Okay. And, oh, don't forget to add whatever element you have, whatever sprite you have, sorry, as a child to the layer. Okay, so let's try this again. Oh wow! So as you can see here, it's come out really tiny because I forgot to scale it. So what does this look like? It's a third the size. So. There you go. Got a background. Although this probably should sit at the top here, so yeah, we're just gonna put this actually all the way up, and we're gonna set an anchor point. So anchor points are a little complicated to explain right now, so I'm not gonna go into detail. But basically, if I make this 1.0 and then set the height to the full height of the screen. By the way, coordinates and Cocos go from left to right, so this is 0 and this is the full size, and unusually they go from bottom up, so this is 0 and this is the full size, so we're going to push it up here. Okay, and I just have to save it, and the game resets. Oh, and there we go. So this is a file that I drew earlier, which is some kind of a called it alleyway. It doesn't actually look like an alleyway at all. It looks like more of the side of a street or something. But this is it right here. I'm probably missing a parking lot right here. And I'll go into detail about how to draw things like this. I mean, I realize this doesn't look very good, but it's better than nothing. And you know, if you can make something that's like kind of portrays or conveys what the basic idea is. I mean, you can see this. There's cracks on the building here, so you can tell it's not the most posh neighborhood. You know, the colors, the browns, and etc. Don't they don't convey like you know, you can tell this vending machine right here is probably gonna get robbed at some stage. All right. So, okay, so you can see, so this is vending machine entity. This gives you a bit more of an idea of what's going on now that there's a background here. Okay, so let's go back to vending machines. Now for each of these entities, I've actually gone into the resource folder. Resource folder is where you put all your sounds and images and stuff, and I've also put some JSON files. So these are a way of storing data. And I've got two. I've got lot definitions and vending definitions. Now what's a lot? A lot here in the model that you can see, a lot is basically a location. So, you know, like a parking lot. That's where I got the term lot from. Or, you know, people used to describe empty premises as an empty lot. So this is a lot, this background here. This alleyway right here. And in this file inside the model folder, these JSONs here, a JSON is the JavaScript object notation. These will store some information about lot. So this is empty right now, so let's just have a go at. Oh, this should probably be in it, right? So let's just have a go and see what we can do right here. We should add this. So I've actually put the different attributes that a lot can have. So the first one is the background image. Should be pretty self-explanatory. Alleyway one.png. Oh, don't forget to put that. And actually, a lot of JSON readers throw a fit if you don't put quotation marks around the object name as well. Some don't mind, but some do mind, so it's better to just do it all the time. Vending position, this is basically the position of the vending machine, and let's see, it should probably be an object. Okay, there's the X and Y value. So, so I'm not too sure what to do here. I'm going to make a position that's floating point value between 0 and 1. So I'm just going to put that directly in the middle. Price. Yeah, okay, so this one's probably about $5,000. Crime looks kind of dodgy, so give it a 0.75. Now, winter popularity, or winter pop. Without going into too much detail, the idea here is to have seasons, and people buy different drinks. So they might, during the winter, they might prefer like a hot can of coffee, and during the summer, they might prefer something like a sports drink, or like a Powerade or Gatorade or whatever. So maybe this place is this is outdoors, so it's not so popular during the winter because it's going to be raining. And during the summer, it's like 0.5 because it's just not a very popular place. And sheltered is that basically right here I've written. So on rainy days, we'll still make money. So there's going to be days where it rains, and if it rains and your vending machine's outside, then you're going to make zero money off that vending machine. But if it's sheltered, then it doesn't matter. And this place, as you can see, it's not sheltered, it's just outside next to a fence. So if it was inside a shopping mall, then sheltered would be true. Okay, how long has this gone on for? Wow, this is taking way longer than I thought it would. So this episode might drag on to 20 or even 30 minutes. Let me try and get through this quicker. Let's see, vending machines. So this is the same deal, but with vending machines, and I've already added one here. Put a name. This one doesn't have a name. I should probably give it a name. Price, speed of the vending machine, how fast it will deliver items, the maximum amount of products, different products it can carry, how durable it is, and how secure it is to theft or crime. Okay, so the idea here is to, just copy paste this and add a different kind of vending machine. By the way, the syntax highlighting is not working on this, is it? How would I go about and there's really doesn't seem to be a way to make this. Never mind. Okay, so I went through NT's model. A model is just data. So I mean, this could be called the data folder. Yeah. And I have a game model, which is basically just going to store info about the game, such as how much money the player currently has, what date it is, those kinds of stuff. And we have the lot model. So this is what a lot, one of these lot things that I was talking about earlier. And the lot will have various properties. So like I described earlier. And right here I wrote a deserialized function. I put one inside the, oh no, I didn't put one right here, and this is just gonna load the data from here or from a save file. Alright, let's see. And then here is all the scenes. So the base layer is all of these different scenes inherit. Each one of these buttons is a different scene. So we're destroying a scene and loading a new scene. And it looks like something is deprecated right here. So let's see. Set Z order was this right here. Okay. Set local Z order. All right. Hopefully that gets rid of one of the errors. And each one of these different scenes inherits from the space layer. And basically what the space layer has is it has all these buttons at the bottom. So I don't have to code the buttons in every time. They're just coded in the base layer, and each one of these extends the base layer, so they have the buttons already. But depending on what scene it is or what layer it is, it will set a different buttons opacity. So the settings layer sets the settings buttons opacity low, so you can see the setting button here changes in color. It goes more transparent, so you know that this is the scene that you're on. Okay. All right. So I think I caught everyone up on the code. I also have lot view, so I'm kind of trying to do like a model view controller type thing. I'm not really sure how that's going to work out, but a lot view is basically a view that's used to display the lot model. Okay. So I think I caught everyone up on the code. So I'm just going to go into some brief detail on how I'm doing the art. So like for example, this little guy. I'm currently using this website right here called Piskel. So that's Piskel, PISKELAPP.com. And it's really good. It's very good to use. It's open source. They don't charge any money. They have an offline version you can download. You can just use it online though. It's pretty much the same thing. So this is a new Piskel right here. And since I'm not a good artist, I'm just following a very simple formula to create to draw people in this game. So I'm just going to show you real quick what that looks like. So this will just make a line. It's probably too long. Oh, okay, allergies. So make another line. Make a third line right here. And then I want to switch to a skin color. This is all very simple, as you can see. Kind of looks like a head now. I mean, you wanna look at this view. It's probably a good view to look at. Right. And then you would basically just put a dot here of skin. Let's give him a weird purple shirt. Let's see. What have I done? Oh, this looks a bit off. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna put a dot here for his eyes, and then these are his trousers. Yeah, he's a tiny guy. Let's give him make him a bit longer. And these are his trousers. And if you want, you could give him a. Oh no, that looks horrible. Never mind. He doesn't have a face, so give him some eyes. Some eyes there, and then a mouth. Actually, wow, yeah, that's much better. Now this kind of looks strange, doesn't it? So yeah, okay, that's much better. Now you want to also add a bit of shading. So what I do is I just get the skin color and darken it. And you can just just apply that right here so it gives the shading. And can also do that with the clothing. You can even add it. Oh, that looks horrible. You can add a bit of shading there, and you can do the same with the trousers too. Okay, so that, and we have our dude. It's probably way too dark. This right here. Yeah, that's much better. So now we have our dude right. Oh, actually, okay, yeah, that's better. And this is our dude right here. Now, how's he gonna walk? I haven't quite figured that out. Because this pixel thing actually supports animation, and I can actually duplicate a frame. And let's set the FPS here. And if you draw on the second frame, you'll see it actually loop through the frames here. So going at 3 frames per second. Let's see, how would we make him walk? We could let's go and choose. So I could try. I mean, that kind of looks like he's walking, doesn't it? Yeah, this might actually be alright. I know this first frame looks really weird, but when you look at it uh, in the animation, I reckon it kind of looks like he's walking alright. You might need a bit of a head bubble or something. But what you can do is you can get this selection right here and cut, move it down, and then there. Now he's he's walking and he's bobbing his head. I'm not quite sure how this looks in the video here, so I'll make it bigger. Yep, and you can export this as all sorts of different things. I'm going to download it as a PNG sprite sheet. And this just gives us a... Oh, whoa, I zoomed in way too far. This just gives us 2 frames. You can see, very easy to create a simple representation of a person in your game. Make him walk faster if you want to know. Crazy looking. He's on drugs. Alright. Next episode, I'll go into some detail about how I drew the vending machines. These are kind of terrible, but I'm sure I'll get better over time. And they are actually supposed to show the products inside, which that'll be done through the game. And I'll go into detail on how I drew this kind of thing. So, okay. Yep, so that's all for today. Thank you for joining me, and yeah, see you next time.